Whenever you're ready. Quiet on set.
Quiet on set. Action. Take one.
There we go.
Hi, this is Gary Mullen for One Night of Queen, and if you're not listening to Rockin You All Night, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Hello again, everyone. This is Ryan Whitting, and you're listening to another episode of Rockin You All Night, where we talk all things rock, all things metal, and all things with strings. And if you don't like it, then you must not rock. My guest this week is one of the greatest singers, frontmen, and showmen in all of rock music in the world today, Gary Mullen from the One Night of Queen World Tour. And we're coming at you from the Fox Theater in Tucson, Arizona. So sit back, hold tight, and get ready for Rockin' You All Night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor and privilege to sit across once again from one of the greatest voices, showmen, frontmen in all of rock music today. He's the star of the One Night of Queen World Tour. He's the lead singer of Gary Mullen The Works. Of course, I'm talking about the great Gary Mullen.
Or the not so great. Absolutely average.
Good
to see you again, man.
Good to see you, my brother. It's been a minute.
It has, yeah. It feels like a minute, actually.
Doesn't it?
It does feel like a minute.
We were just in Florida.
Yeah.
12 minutes ago.
Exactly.
Right.
That's how it feels like us. We like go, see you soon, man. Boom. Hi, we're back.
And then here we are. Yeah. So this tour is, as all of your tours are, just doing phenomenal. But you guys are, and this is no joke for people that are listening, you guys are the biggest thing in France as we speak.
Yeah, that was really, really bizarre because it was actually the promoter's wife just sent us a WhatsApp message with this website on it, and I'm going, yeah, that's made up, you know. And then I looked on the actual, and it's some official like poll star here, and yeah, we were higher than Paul McCartney.
Wow.
Which was like, what? He was like number 7 or something, and it was like, hang on, we're higher than a Beatle. What the hell is going on there? And it was incredible. I'm sure we've been superseded now, but at the time in France, we were the number 1 touring show in regards to ticket sales at that moment.
And the crowds are wild, and you're on TV, and you guys have always kind of been really big in France, that you played at many of the theaters and places that the actual band
have played. The TV thing was fucking weird because we had to mime, and I've never mimed in my life to anything.
That wasn't live?
It wasn't live, no, it was pre-recorded.
It looked and sounded like
we
it.
We had to pre-record the version of We'll Rock You the day before at soundcheck. But the problem with that is that when you're singing the song and you phrase it a certain way and everything's going great, you don't think about where you stop singing until you've then got to try and mime to yourself. And suddenly it's like, I need to listen to what I do here. Where do I stop the phrase? Where do I come in? So that when I'm going like that, it matches the voice, so it's not like Milli Vanilli, you know, that kind of out of sync. So it was very, on the way up the train from Bordeaux to Paris, I had to sit with the headphones on and listen to what we'd done.
So the crowd doesn't know that it's voiceover because it's still your band and your voice and all that.
And a funny story was we had John do a count on a 1, 2, 3, 4, so that we could all come in at the same time. And the TV edited the count out.
Oh.
So we were like, shit, how do we start? And the guy went, I'll just give you a 3, 2, 1, like Wayne's World off camera, and point and go. So John's sitting there with his sticks in the air, like, okay, and boom, boom. And it was live TV, it was live. So we were the first thing on the show. So you're just like, no pressure. It was great fun, and we, as you saw, went in and filled it in with the audience and the panel and things, and it was great exposure. It was like, 12 million people saw it. And that's mind-blowing, because you're in, when you're in the TV studio, you see a camera with a light on it, and there's maybe like 150 people in the studio, and not including the crew, and you kind of do your thing, and you don't think about it, you just kind of do it, and you're done. You know? But then you find out that amount of people were watching, and then we saw the clips. People then started posting them at home watching it.
Oh yeah.
And then and all the clips all start coming. I was watching it 2. I was watching it 3. I was watching it 4, and it was incredible. It was just. That's the guy sound checking in the background, noisy buggers. Sorry about this, folks.
It's all good. It adds to the ambience.
It adds to the real ambience. So yes, it was incredible, and the tour was just, as I was chatting, obviously off air, it was mind blowing.
And to me, isn't it ironic though? Like the movie Bohemian Rhapsody shows when they're playing at. Is it live at the BBC or Top of the Pops, where the Queen guys have a problem with like, don't have us.
Don't let us lip sync.
And then you have the same thing.
We have the same thing. Well, do we really have to lip sync?
Yeah.
Well, we see what it is we've got a tight window, and to mic the kit up and mic you guys up in rehearsal time, we can give you one rehearsal 20 minutes before we go live on TV, because the studio's been set up, and then the drum kit was a real Ludwig drum kit,
right?
Like a $10,000 drum kit with mesh skins. So when you hit it goes. Like that.
Oh, so he's playing, but it's not really much.
He's playing, but it's like that, and the cymbals are deaded, so the real cymbals with like a kind of rubber coating on them. So it's like. Oh. So John's beating the absolute crap out of this drum kit into ears.
Now I know how some of the bands that are on tour that'll remain nameless are doing it. Like that's.
Hey, I'm saying nothing. And you know yourself, you stand next to that nutcase John on the stage and you have no hearing left.
Oh yeah.
Because he is hitting them for real.
Oh God, yeah.
So it was incredible. I mean, the tour was just magical, and the amount of children, the amount of really small kids that were coming to the show was just mind blowing. And they come with their Queen t-shirts. It's not like they've been, dragged away from, playing Fortnite in their room. They're actually coming. They know the drill. They know the hand claps for Gaga. They know when the day ups are coming. They know when they sing back. They know the words of the songs. They know all the guitar parts. There's kids playing air guitar and air drums, and you forget you're in the room of 5,000 people. You start focusing on the kids at the front that are really living this. And I'm thinking, God, that was me.
Right.
At that age, when I got into Queen, I was like 4 years old. So I spoke about this before. So suddenly you've got all these kids, coming.
It's keeping that cycle going.
Yeah, and then you realise how much of a renaissance Queen are having right now. Not just the movie, but Adam Lambert and Queen are out touring right now, and they're doing some big ass stadiums and over in Australasia, and it's a great time to be doing all things Queen.
Yeah, and as a Queen fan, it's like they're not coming to see you by accident. It's like if it wasn't as authentic as you guys have kept it, and as great as you have, been able to perform these songs, like none of that would happen. But I mean, for those that haven't seen Gary Mullen The Works, and I've said this many times before, this is as close as you'll ever get to seeing Queen live in their prime at their peak. And you guys have been doing this for 17 years, and it's still getting better.
That's the thing, as we spoke about this before, you have to excuse the noise, folks. We're actually sitting in the lobby of the venue and people are just walking by and they don't see us sitting here with, trying to...
They have no idea. We are in the beautiful Fox Theater in beautiful stunning. Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, but it's like you're walking down Fifth Avenue in New York, the amount of people flying by.
Most of my interviews are like that, actually.
Yeah, it's weird because this is my 20th year as performing as Ferry, because obviously, May 2000 was the beginning of it.
Right.
And it's 18 years for the band, and when you think it's on the decline, or you think, right, well maybe now people will be getting sick of the show, and maybe
never,
it's just going up and up and up. John said to us in France, it was a throwaway comment, we haven't peaked yet, and I'm kind of like, shit, yeah, he's right.
I think he's right. Yeah, I mean, I know what I would hope for your band. What do you hope the pinnacle of
I just want to see where we can take this, how far we can go, how big this can get, how many people we can play to, what kind of countries we can go and see.
So Wembley Stadium with Brian and Roger on stage.
It's good to dream.
Right.
It's nice to dream. I don't know. We just every year surprises the absolute hell out of me. You just go and you do the show and you look out in the audience and people are really going for it, and then what we're finding now on social media is people are chatting to each other about what shows they're going to.
Right.
And then send me photographs, and then they're posting each other and they're tagging people. So social media is really lit up, and as you know, John and I especially spend a lot of time on social media. It's a good platform to chat to fans.
Right.
Because you can post a photograph of somewhere in the world, and then you get a fan that's coming to the show, interacting with you to say, God, I'm coming I'm on my way, or you maybe get a photograph of them sitting with a ticket in the auditorium before the show starts, and we'll say like, enjoy the show, and then afterwards, did you enjoy the show? And you're getting a real,
and a lot of bands are not
fans.
embracing that, but I know you are. It's it's why we are talking. It was years ago. I've been fan in the front row. I never really left the front row, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's do this show.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that a lot of bands have not embraced as well as you have. And so, like, I will speak for your fans. Like, thank you for that, because it actually means a lot.
No, thank you guys like yourself. I mean, you've been coming since 2008. Pretty much 2009 was 9.
I think your first US tour was 2008, but you didn't come to Arizona, so I think I saw you in 2009.
2009. So you've been coming all the time, and you've seen the transition in this band, and you've seen how, and there's obviously been a couple of lineup changes, you've obviously,
Yeah.
But yeah, and we give a shit, we really do. And as I've said to you before, off air and on air, every ticket's got a story. Mm-hmm. You've got couples on a date night, you've got friends that are reuniting, you've got families. The music, this music has been a pivotal point in their life. That it's something that's united the family. So for us, we have 2 hours to do the best we can.
And you're doing it better than everybody. And there are other tribute bands, and sorry guys, you're a distant second, third, fourth, fifth.
It's nice of you to say that, Ryan. Obviously,
it's the truth,
and we do appreciate it. But we never.
You don't look at it that way.
No, we don't.
Right.
You've got it. I've got friends that are in our Queen bands, believe it or not. I've got friends that are in our tribute bands. I've got friends that are in real bands, because we are sometimes classed as not a real band, because we're a tribute band.
But I don't say that. I don't know many that do. But
my absolute sort of come ahead if you think you're hard enough kind of vibe is, well, you come into any musician out of this band and you put me in any other band, and you've basically got a world-class musician playing in your band who has 25 years, before this band, has played in bands before. So you've got, if you were to try and calculate how many years of experiences in this band, you're talking, probably over 100 years of experience.
Well, and all you guys are just phenomenal musicians in your own right. I mean, Billy with all his music, David is world-class. Malcolm has played in front of royalty.
Yeah.
John is, I've seen everybody drum, and John is as powerful as everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the things that I brought up to all 4 guys in Florida a year ago, is as a fan and as a friend, you have basically one track that's an original track, Need Time Away, where it's kind of a Gary Mullen The Works original track. You're singing.
That was Billy's baby, and I just happened to be
and David's also on it,
and part of the ride.
Your former drummers.
Yep, and Marty, our keyboard player, the original keyboard player, played piano on it.
In all 4 guys I asked this, and I got different answers from each guy, but is there no chance, at least of writing, I mean, obviously the touring gets in the way, but is there no chance to record an original album?
Too many egos, man.
Too many egos?
Oh shit, mine being the biggest. And I'm free to admit that. Do you know what, it's funny you should mention Need Time Away, because sometimes you do need time away from each other. Because we are in such close proximity, like a family, that sometimes you just want to just go, you know what, I don't want to see these guys for a while.
That makes sense.
And I don't mean that derogatory, I don't mean that, nastily. I just mean, when you're spending, like this tour's 12 and a half weeks long, when you're spending 12 and a half weeks on a bus with the same guys.
For 17 years?
For 18 years now, you kind of sometimes just want a little bit of respite.
Yeah.
And as handsome as the fellows are, I want to see my wife from time to time. I want a bit of female companionship, with the missus. But no, it's the great thing about it is we go away and we come back and it makes us hungry.
Okay, that makes sense.
And everybody's got their own things. Some guys want to record music at that time and some guys don't. Some guys want to do something else. Some guys want to go away and just go on vacation. Some guys want to play music. Some guys don't want to play music. A lot of the time I don't want to play music. I just want to go home and go to the gym and spend time with family and go out and have a curry with mates. Doesn't mean I don't write the odd bit at home, which I've got a little project that's on the site, way on the back burners at the moment. But it's for fun.
Okay.
That may see the light of day in a year or two, who knows? But for me, this takes up so much of the time.
That it's not even a thought.
And then it's that thing of, well, you've then got you've got 5 guys trying to come up with something and put their interpretation into it, and then get something that's you're all going to agree on, and you're all going to want to play.
Right.
It can be tough, you know, because everyone's got their own background, their own influences, their own ideas. But never say never. As I know in this business, you never say never.
Thank you for that. That gives me a glimmer of hope. So for those that are wanting Gary Mullen The Works original track, Need Time Away, you can request that on AZ Radio Live. I feature that on my show, Rockin You All Night. And the feedback that I get from fans are like, holy shit, that is awesome.
That was a fun track to do.
It's a phenomenal piece of work.
And I have to tip my hat to Billy for that one, because it is Billy's baby. It was Billy's creation. It really was. I just filled in the gaps.
Well, and it's got not only your powerful voice, but it's got that Queen, almost like an innuendo vibe, the song innuendo.
Yeah.
So I hear that, I'm like, wow, how great would it be as a full album? But
it was funny because it was like, you know, we're in the studio and Billy's like, he's got something missing. I said, do you want to put some harmonies on it, man?
Yeah.
I was like, you need to put some harmonies too. So the both of us went into this, and we couldn't stop laughing, because when you've got, it's okay if you're doing harmony parts, multi-tracking harmonies yourself, and you go and you do a part and then you overdub it and you overdub it and you overdub it, and it's fine, right? You kind of get in the zone. But when you get someone else in there and their own idiosyncrasies, we couldn't stop laughing, because he would take a breath in, or he would start the line too quick, and he would go and do my line, or one of us would go, and you're gone. The track that take's ruined, and you spend 10 minutes just laughing your ass off and trying to get yourself together to do it again. But yeah, that was again
phenomenal.
It was a lot of fun, and it was done over a couple of days, and we lost hours in the studio.
Just doing one song.
Yeah. Because we just get so involved in it, so engrossed in this track. It was like, shit, it's 2 a.m. Well, may as well just keep going. We'll go to 6 and see what happens. And then, like I say, Dave came in and put his parts on, and he'd put multiple, well, Abe pick this and pick that, and then Billy could choose.
Yeah.
So there's little takes that have never seen the light of day of guitar parts that are just like, shit, that's incredible. There's a whole piano piece in there that was taken out.
Oh my gosh.
So there's things, little sort of deep cut stuff that Billy's probably never said.
He hasn't. I'm
that have been taken out.
Scold him now that I have this.
But the track, the end result was incredible. The end result was incredible.
Phenomenal.
But for people that because everybody, that's what I love, and you probably, you're the same. You find an album and you find a demo, or you find something, and you go, shit, that's not that. Why did it not make the track? And then you go, I can see why it didn't make the track, because of this, because of that. So there's little things that are missing.
Oh, I might have to twist young Mr. Moffat's arm about sending me some demos of that.
Yeah.
So our time is limited. I have 2 segments I want to play with you. You've done these before. One I think that you have not done. So this one, Vinnie Moore invented this segment.
Okay.
It's called In the Year 2525. Let me warm up my singing voice. In the year 2525, that is, of course, if man is still alive.
Yep.
When the band Gary Mullen The Works gets mentioned, what would you like people to say?
They rocked.
I think they're saying that now, and I think they should also say they rocked harder than everybody that ever played a Queen song, with the exception of Queen.
I remember one at a Queen, they gave a shit.
Yes.
You know?
I like that answer. Let me go to question 2. Let me warm up my singing voice again. You don't mind that I sing in front of, world-class singers?
I quite enjoy listening to other people sing, mate.
Gary's actually holding in laughter when I do this. Let me clear my throat. In the year 2525, that is, of course, if man is still alive. When the phrase one night of Queen gets mentioned, what should people say?
They were a great tribute band.
Not the greatest? You don't want them to say they're the greatest?
It's a personal opinion.
Okay. What would you like them to say? They were just a great band? You're so modest, but...
They were a great band. They were a great tribute band. Those guys played like they meant it, and they were a great band. Or they were a great band because, again, talent will out, as Freddie says, talent will out, and what I mean by that is the talent of the band, and I am not including I'm excluding myself from there.
Right.
When you hear the guys play, you go, shit, these guys have chops,
man.
They're not just pissing around. They care, and they play like a band. And that's what I want people to say. I want to go, they were as Paul McCartney famously said, what would you like people to say about the Beatles? They were a great little band. And I'll go with that. I'll take that one.
Nice. I like that. Would you like to regale us one time with the Zager and Evans lyrics?
in the year 2525.
God, I love this segment. That is, of course, If Man Is Still Alive. When the name Freddie Mercury gets mentioned, what should people say?
Icon. Legend. Unsurpassed.
When was the first time that you recall seeing Freddie, and what attracted you to him and wanted to emulate him?
The first visual, because I'd heard the music playing, because my mum always had a radio on, so there was always music in my house. There was always uncles and aunts at parties playing guitar. My Uncle Joe especially was playing guitar. He was just my hero, because he was a guy I watched at parties and thought, everybody's watching him, looks kind of fun. Imagine people did that to you and just watched you when you sang. That's kind of cool. And that started the kind of the idea of maybe that's something I could do as I get older, you know. Whereas the actual visual of Queen that was Top of the Pops in the UK, and it was 1977, and it was We Are the Champions.
Wow.
It was a video. And tonight, now number 5 in the charts, Queen, new entry, We Are the Champions. It was just like, holy shit, who is that? With the leotard on and the lights and and what a song to hear, and we are the champions. I was just like, wow. And that was it. That was the love affair began that very night.
Wow.
And I was 4 years old.
Holy shit.
No, in fact, yeah, I was 4 years old.
No kidding.
Yeah, and that was it. It was just like, shit, that guy's good. Shit, they're incredible.
In your opinion, is that, like, if you look up the word rock star in a dictionary, should it just have a picture of Freddie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that about Alice Cooper, and you can say that about all the other legends. I mean, these guys are legends. You're talking about your Alice Coopers, your Robert Plants,
right?
You know, your Steven Tylers. These are legends. These aren't just good singers. These aren't just front. These are fucking legends. These guys are now. If you were to write a rock and roll book, you know, like a Bible, these guys would just be on every page. You know, it's like if you want to see, you know, incredible, then these are the guys. Rob Halford, you know, Steven Tyler, Freddie Mercury, Alice Cooper, you know, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons. These guys are legends. It's not even musicians anymore. They've surpassed that.
Right.
I mean, they're just on another plane.
I'm not going to disagree with you. If you could have met Freddie or could meet him, what would you say to him?
I'd be very humbled in his presence. I would just say thank you. Thank you for making a little boy's dreams come true.
You don't expect me to believe that you wouldn't say, Edo!
No, because he'd probably tell me to fuck off. Fuck off, darling. To be honest, I that's what I would say to him. Thanks for making a little boy's dreams come true.
Wow, dude.
Because John and I were chatting, actually, we were on the French tour, we were sitting on the bus one night, we had the day off the next day, we're sitting having using a beer, having a glass of wine, and we were just talking about the show. Sorry, this is comedy gold. Every time we go to speak, someone comes in and sits down. It's hilarious, oblivious to what's happening. It's great. I love random stuff like this. It just makes me laugh so much. It's like, we're having an interview here, and we're just chatting about, you know, our background, because as you know, John and I met as teenagers. We'd formed a band, and you know,
the cops came when you were
cops came, and all that stuff, right? All that nonsense. And I said, wouldn't it be great to get the DeLorean time machine and go back to that apartment block in Glasgow and just go up to the two kids in the room with the guitars and just go, guys, it's going to be all right.
No shit.
It's going to take a bit longer than you thought. It's going to take a slightly different path, but it's going to be fucking awesome. Watch this space. Get in the DeLorean and come back here and tell them that it's going to be all right.
No wonder we're friends. I often think of the same thing.
You know what I mean? You wish you could do that yourself. You go back and tell the little kid that was kind of like trying to find himself and not quite knowing what to do.
Yep.
It's going to be all right, man. It's going to be cool.
I honestly thought of that when I, you know, not to sidetrack, but when I interviewed Don Dokken, he was the first person that I knew who a musician was. My brother is much older, so my brother was that was his guy. Yeah. So at 5 or whatever I was, that was who I knew what a rock star was. And all these years later, then he's sitting across from me just like you are, and I'm just like, how in the hell? Yeah,
you want to go back to the 5-year-old? Guess what?
Right.
You're never going to believe this, but when you're older, this is going to happen. And that's the thing. It's like I say, with the night Rob Halford came you were there in the Celebrity Theatre in Phoenix. You couldn't write that shit.
No.
You couldn't tell the 18-year-old kid who was singing Breaking the Law on stage, or, you know, Living After Midnight, and the 50-year-old kid on the drums, that the guy who's your hero, who you're listening to Beaton covering his songs is going to be standing in the wings watching you perform.
Stomping his feet, clapping his hands.
Clapping his hands. It's just like that. You couldn't write that stuff, you know. And this is where this incredible job just sometimes just makes me go, what? Because things happen.
Right.
Like live on a French TV show, the biggest TV show in France.
Right.
You know, the biggest selling show. The little boy in me, the little guy from the kind of poor background that was struggling all the time, just goes, holy shit, really? He comes out and goes, wow, and then goes back in again.
What makes you realize that you're obviously doing the right thing in life? You've done what you're supposed to do and are currently doing it.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm on the track of doing what I'm supposed to do. We'll see.
I would think so. Knowing you now, getting to know you over the years, and getting to see your focus and the passion that you have for what you do, you're totally on the right track. And I always remember that line in Whoopi Goldberg said in Sister Act, and it's Lauryn Hill, who's obviously the kid, and she's shy, and her mum's always trying to say, don't sing, and she says, if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you want to do is sing, then you're a singer. If it's the last thing you want to do before you go to bed, you're a singer. That's your path. With you, I know that this is what you've always wanted to do. We met back in the day when you weren't doing this and you were transitioning into this, and we spoke about this is your path, and you know you've got a journalist background anyway from way back. Yeah, it just fits it's like a comfortable pair of comfortable sneakers. It fits. You know that's what you want to do.
Yep.
And I think this is what I was put on this planet to do.
And you're doing it pretty darn well, if I might be
Thank
so
you, man.
bold.
Thanks.
Let me go to my next signature segment. This is R.Y.A.N. Whitting's This or That. You've played this before. I give you two things. You choose what you like better, this or that.
Okay.
Here we go. Barcelona or In My Defense, the songs.
Oh.
I don't ask the easy ones, do I?
You don't ask the easy ones. I think I'd have to put it on Barcelona.
You've done that one live a few times in the set. Have you ever done In My Defense?
Only drunk in the house at karaoke.
Is that one, in my opinion, is Freddie, his voice in his prime at his peak? What do you think is Freddie's?
You can tell in those songs, because obviously that was Mike Moran, that was Time, that was a musical, that was the time he met Montserrat, that whole thing, Great Pretender, In My Defense, Time, Barcelona, was all the same period.
Right.
And then he starts working with Montserrat and his voice changes. Suddenly she's getting him to sing into ranges that he would never sing in, because he was always what they call forced tenor.
Right.
Whereas his natural was high baritone. And she was getting him to like the song The Golden Boy, la 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 la, the boy had the way with words. He's down here. Right. And you're like, holy shit. And this incredibly booming, powerful voice. And then of course he then goes back into his natural high tenor. And yeah, it was just, for me, that gave me chills, because Freddie's voice was incredible up here. We all knew a 4-octave range, but you were not used to hearing him sing down here. So Barcelona was the same, you know.
Right.
That, you know, beginning, I had this perfect dream. This dream was me and you. It's all down there, and it's so comfortable. And it's like, my God, what the hell is that? Right. And my singing teacher, who's an opera teacher, said he was an opera singer without having opera training.
Wow.
He just knew what he was doing, but didn't know what he was doing. And that album is where he really showed where his natural voice lay. And all these different songs came out, and it was like, holy shit, it's
one of those things where, like, as fans like you, and I know these songs, but there's a large number of people that have no idea about In My Defense.
All I'll say to people, and I know this is obviously Rockin You All Night, and I know that it's a rock radio segment, but if you can find the Barcelona album, you want to hear Freddie Mercury do opera, it is spine tingling. You've probably heard it yourself, and especially if you can get the 25th anniversary now with the Prague National Orchestra, because originally it was all done with keyboards and then they redid it for the 25th anniversary. It gives you chills, because her voice as well, he got her to sing in places she would never go, and she got him to sing in places that he wouldn't go, and it was a real meeting of incredible talent.
What a shame that we didn't get more of that from Freddie.
Just to put the listeners into here, we've now got the usherettes and the ushers from the venue talking about their week behind us. So we can have a listen in if you want to see what Doris was up to.
Or who went to the grocery store and whose medical appointments.
And who bought tacos and who had Chinese for lunch.
This is why this show is good. It's just two guys chit-chatting here.
Yeah.
Let me go to I got a couple more questions.
Okay.
This or that, C-3PO or R2-D2?
R2-D2.
Why?
Because he's a smart ass.
I love that answer.
He's the quiet one. It's like he is Silent Bob to Jay. If you were because he doesn't speak. He's all bleeps and blobs, but he's always got the answer.
Really, he does. And he's like the pivotal character in like every if there's no R2-D2, that Death Star blows us all up. I think.
Yeah, he dies.
The Ewoks get melted.
If Leia hadn't put the message in, Luke wouldn't have saw it.
Right.
Obi-Wan wouldn't be back on the scene. The Death Star wouldn't have blown up because he wouldn't have been there to do it. They'd have got to the thing. All tags. R2's your man.
I no wonder we're friends. I
R2's
feel the
man.
same way. 70s Freddy or 80s Freddy?
Oh, shit. I would have to controversially say 80s Freddy.
And your costume is 80s Freddy. Have you ever done 70s Freddy in costume?
No, because I think it makes the show, it limits where you can go.
Okay.
I think personally, and I don't want to do that whole, because we thought about doing 70s part 1, 80s part 2, but it was like, I like to mix it up. I like to have as Live Aid was a musical jukebox and Queen would have,
right.
They would play songs from each thing, you know. I think it just gives you a bit more scope, and then of course you can then go into things like, for example, we're doing a song tonight from Innuendo that we've never played ever.
Which is, are you going to spoil? No, actually,
No.
I retract that question. Don't tell me. I want to be surprised.
You'll hear it later.
All right.
But again, it's a song that they never played live with Freddie. So it's with the 80s thing, you can then go, okay, Freddie would have probably looked a bit like this still.
Yeah.
We'll play that. 80s Freddie, I think there was a different timbre in his voice. It became more operatic. It became not deeper. It just had more body to his voice. His voice on the early stuff was incredible. I mean, just incredible. But I just felt that the total package became later on. The body and the voice changed. It became more like a classical opera singer, in my opinion.
I'm not.
That's just my opinion. You know, other listeners will have other opinions. You know, I love Freddie throughout his entire career. He's my hero. But for me, some of the things he sang on some of those songs are sort of like, we were talking about My Defence, Time. It's just, you know, whoosh, knocked out the park, you know.
Well, it's like we were talking before on air, like the songs, like Dancer from the 80s.
Yeah.
It's like that's...
Yeah, Dancer. You've got Cool Cat. You've got a deep cut like Soul Brother, which was a B-side. You listen to that, he just goes, it's like some of the notes only dogs can hear. You're like, my God. And it's almost like he went, right, I found my comfortable sneakers. I know where I'm going with this voice now. I've got control of it. Whereas in the early 70s, and I know if Brian said this when they first started, he was trying to find his own identity and his own voice. By the time like the game comes, he's like, I've got this, guys. We're all good. And you listen to songs like Save Me, or you listen to Sail Away Sweet Sister, or even things like Coming Soon. It just...
It is a different level.
The voice and the and under pressure, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
You know, and Roger, he's like, Roger, hold my vodka, I've got this one. You know, David, yeah, you're cute, darling, but I've got this. And that's the difference. It was just out the park.
I'm not going to disagree. Thank you for that insight. Those of us that aren't musically inclined like you, that's amazing insight. I've got 2 questions left.
Okay.
Rockin You All Night, or the Kiss song Rock and Roll All Night.
It's got to be Rockin You All Night because you're here, dude. But the Kiss one comes a close second.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Comes a close
second. Because I know we are both major Kiss fans. So
yeah.
You don't have to choose me. Tell us how you really think. Rock and Roll All Night is what you'd really choose.
No,
I love
think
Kiss, though.
I do love Kiss, and I've seen them now. I've only saw them once actually. I had a chance before. Never got a chance. I told you the story. My friend's dad was a tailor. They came into the tailor shop in Glasgow to get some leathers. They just bought altered. He got passes. I was living in the country at the time. I didn't have the money to go into Glasgow to go see the concert. My friend went to the concert, and I called him the next day on a payphone because that's how old it was. And I said, "How was the concert?" He said, "I'd like to say it was shit, but it absolutely wasn't." And I was like, "Screw you!" And he's like, "It was amazing."
What is it about them that you love?
I think again it's the theatrics, but it's the playing it like they mean it.
Okay.
You know, because what you've got now in theory is a group of senior citizens,
right,
who are putting most young bands to shame.
Oh yeah.
I mean, shit, watching Paul Stanley made me tired. You know, and that guy's another 20 years older than I am, 23 years older than I am, you know, and he's running around like a fucking 20-year-old. Mick Jagger, another one, he's 76, 77 years old, he runs around for he makes me feel tired.
And you're like running a marathon on this stage.
And guys like Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, they do, it's the total package, they believe in what they're doing. And they're passionate about it. They're not just going and killing time, and marking notes. It is everything is given to the point where he's obviously Paul's had tore his rotator cuff, he's had a knee replacement, he's had this, he's had that. Right. All things that have happened on stage. But he's like, fuck it, it's rock and roll.
And I can see that, like, in your production here, it's like you're giving 120%, like, in everything. Just
you've got to though,
right?
Because you're only as good as that show, and you've got to play it like it's your last. You know, you could be driving along and a meteor hits the bus and you're all dead.
That's a good point.
You gotta get, and you're not gonna get that. But tonight we're not gonna get that configuration of people ever again. You get people coming that have been before, right, and will come again. But all those people in that one room, it's all or nothing.
I'm not going to disagree again. Don't scold me. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you. This is the last question. This is always the toughest one.
Yep.
Here we go. R.Y.A.N Whitting. That's me, the host of the show.
Is that your name? Shit, I didn't know.
God, I love this guy. R.Y.A.N Whitting or bullshitting? Notice the long pause.
Yeah. I can always go, man, you're totally R.Y.A.N Whitting with that. It's got to be R.Y.A.N Whitting, because I am the king of bullshit, so... I'm the king of bullshitting.
I love it.
So R.Y.A.N Whitting has got to be over the king of bullshitting.
There we go. That's a good answer. Gary, it is just awesome, as always, to see you and to see the show. And
it's always a pleasure to see you, dude, away from this and in this as well. And guys, if you've not had a chance to have Ryan interview you, do it. You'll have a lot of fun.
I'm not going to disagree with that either. Like, it's such an honor to know you guys and to call you friends. But
because number one, you know your subject material. Number two, you give a shit. Number three, you cheat. Like as we're saying, two guys having a chat in a foyer. I hate when it's like, so tell me about your show. Well, and how many musicians are in the band? Well, you saw the press picture, count them.
Right.
You know, 1, 2. Can you count to 5? What? You know, and it's like, fuck, really?
Or the standard question: Tell me when you got started. Who is it?
Yeah.
No, that's not me.
It's like, yeah, we done with that. Yeah. The one I used to get a lot actually when I first started is the TV host Matthew Kelly, who hosted the TV show.
Right.
Big popular presenter. I'd actually get asked about him during the fucking show. I'd get my pants pulled from the bottom. Excuse me, what's Matthew really like? Kind of busy at the moment doing a show. Can I meet you at the stage door? But is he really tall? I'm like, I'm kind of singing right now, you know.
Jesus.
Like during the song.
Unreal.
You're like, excuse me, hello, and you're like, I'm not a fucking DJ. You know, I'm kind of like in the middle of something right now. And you get people in the audience going, what's going on? So yeah, it's nice to get asked sensible questions.
Well, thank you for that. And you told me off air before, you don't do a lot of interviews because of, there's a lot of nonsense.
You get asked the same questions, and the thing is, it becomes a bit sort of like, yeah, okay, painting by numbers, you can. And I get asked a couple of questions. You're always asking really good questions, and always ones that like this or that. And I'm just like, shit, I don't know. And you've got to think about it. And I got asked a couple of good ones in France that were like, oh right, oh okay. And I like that because you've got to think about your answers. It's not just autopilot, just like bleh.
Imagine what it's like for our friend Uncle Metal, who gets the same stuff
for 40 years.
For 40, 50 years, yeah.
But it's fine, because you get into that. I love talking, you love talking. Right. We can talk a lot. So you get that, you just change it into a conversation. You don't change it into an interview. You take the interview out of it, and that's the trick, kids. You don't think of it as an interview, just think of it as two guys having a chat, and that's the best way to do it.
Well, I like to think that I have done that pretty well in my short career doing this, and I.
You get a gold star from me, mate.
What's
Definitely,
that?
You get a gold star from me.
I'm going to agree with you there.
You're not sitting in the naughty step today. You're all good.
Here's one wish list thing, so I know time is short. when you guys come back to the U.S. at some point, you have to somehow get on the same bill, either with the current version of Queen or Judas Priest. Somehow we got to make that happen.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd happily go in and sing "Living After Midnight" with Uncle Metal, as you call him.
Love me some Uncle Metal.
Or do a song. I'd only do the thing with Queen if it was a charity gig. If it was something to raise money for something, and it was just like 1 or 2 songs, and that was it, done. Thanks very much.
And you typically don't have bands with you playing, so it's like it would be something special for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, we love festivals, because when you do a festival, you're on with other different acts, and you can watch other people, and you can have a laugh, and you can meet people backstage. Whereas a lot of the time, it is one night of Queen, it is just us. So yeah, it'd be nice to do that and do something a bit different and have a giggle, because that would be fanboy. That wouldn't be that guy on there. It would be Gary Mullen fanboy. Kind of, oh my god, we're not worthy. One of those. Yeah.
Love it. Well, Gary, thank you so much for
Thank you
this
as always,
interview.
mate. It's always a pleasure.
The honor's mine. Thank you for this interview. Thank you for not only one night of Queen, but all the nights of Queen. And thank you for just being a friend and just being so awesome.
What we need to do tonight, and you've never done this, end of show photograph tonight on stage. You need to be on for it. You've never done this in all the years we've been. So at the end of the night tonight, on the stage with us, back to the audience behind you, click.
Hold on.
Instagram the shit out of that one tonight.
On stage with you guys?
Because you've never done it. It's never been done. We've had people on stage before. Sarah's been on stage. Billy Sarah's been on stage, and everybody's been on stage, and we've had my, family been on stage, and you've never done. I've just realised all this time you've been coming, you've never been on stage with us for the end of show picture. Tonight's the night.
My jaw's on the floor. Let me pick it up.
So tonight's the night. So you need to be at the wings.
Unfucking real. Greatest episode ever. Thank you so much, my man. Thank you for being on Rockin You All Night, where we talk all things rock, all things metal, and all things with strings. And if you don't like it,
then you must not rock.
You're not going to sing it?
Then you must not rock! That was my metal voice. Did you like that?
There you have it, another episode of Rockin You All Night. Be sure to follow Rockin You All Night on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. The music on this episode is provided by Billy Moffat. Go to musicalcrimeproductions.com for all of your Billy Moffat needs. And for more on Gary Mullen and the One Night of Queen World Tour, go to GaryMullenandTheWorks.com. We'll see you when the sun shines again. Until then, follow along, leave comments, click like and subscribe, and remember, we've only just begun.